29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 get something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I seek what you teach. I do believe.
Hello. I'm actually a little bit late filming this. It is quite late on Monday night now. But if I don't get this film now, I say quite late. It's not even 9 o'clock yet. But in my world, that is late. Yes, if I don't film it now because I'm at work tomorrow and Wednesday, you wouldn't get this until Thursday or Friday, and I'm trying to stick to the schedule. So, little update this week. Still have no sign of a colonoscopy appointment. Do need to check in with my GP because I've been having some other symptoms and things that I need to talk to them about. I had a letter. I don't think I mentioned it last week, although I think it came last week. Had a letter from the urology consultant saying that the results of my CT seem to show that the kidney stone has gone. However, I think it said a 50% chance of getting another one. And it's really frustrating at the moment because like the general dietary advice that I was given, while it looks pretty sensible on paper, if I took out all the things, for example, it says to cut down the amount of animal protein that I eat. Well, because I'm really struggling with fibre and vegetables, so I'm sticking, and sugar as well, but obviously I'm sticking to a kind of low residue diet for my adhesions, so I'm a little bit between a rock and a hard place. I am trying to drink the 3 litres of fluid. It says that I should drink every day, but I'm really struggling with that, especially on work days, because drinking that much fluid, I am needing the toilet all the time. But yes, I digress. We are doing our best. I have been really struggling this week. I don't know whether it's the heat wave that we've had. I think it's on its way out now. It's lovely and cool out tonight. But yeah, I really struggled at work this week. I don't know whether it was a mixture of A, the heat wave, B, being on the close, which means that I work 5 till 11 and we tend to shut the sit down checkouts at about 7, so I'm on my feet a lot. I have just ordered some compression socks to try. If anybody has any tips, I've been using Deep Heat as well, but yeah, if anybody has any tips, because I finish at 11 and try and get to sleep and my legs and feet are throbbing. So I haven't really had much time for other stuff. I have been reading this week, but not as much as I would like to have done. I didn't have a commute 2 days this week because my lovely husband decided, because it was so hot, he'd take me in his lovely air-conditioned car. So yeah, I think I'm just getting into the swing of working again. And it's only been, was at the end of my second full week, so yeah, we'll just see how I adapt to things. At the moment, it's working for us and it's working for me. But if that changes, I am determined to put my health first. I'm not sure at the moment whether long term I'm going to be able to keep this up. But we obviously have options. We have hours could be changed or things like that. But I'm really enjoying it, mostly. I haven't been shouted at by customers too many times. I think I've dealt with more annoyed customers than I did annoyed patients when I was working in healthcare, but generally the majority seem to be grand. I did take a bag of books to the books swap stall and I put them there about 4 o'clock. Me and Tom went for lunch in the cafe, and when I started my shift at 5:30, the majority of them had gone, so that's good. I like to know that the people of Leicester are benefiting from the books that I've unhauled. Talking about books, let's do my little reading update for the week. I actually have finished 3 books last week, so actually didn't do too badly. This one I only finished last night, and that was Body Positive Power by Jayne Crabbe. This was a reread for me, and I listened to this one. I have really struggled to sleep with the heat and the pain, so I always have a reread audiobook that I listen to at night, because it makes sense to have a reread, because I do tend to fall asleep. So I set a timer for like 20 minutes, and I would say at about the 15 mark I usually fall asleep. So it has to be one that I've read before so that I don't miss anything important. And I've met Megan. I met her at the Leeds Curve Festival a few years ago, and she's just a ray of sunshine. I would say that this is kind of body positivity 101. It's nothing groundbreaking, but it just feels like a friend talking to you and making you feel good. I've been having some body struggles recently. I think especially because I've been dealing with a lot of bloating again. We go on holiday next month, so I've been trying on clothes and things, and I've just not wanted to connect with my body, and this has really helped. I've still got a long way to go. I'm not cured by any means. I'm just trying to be gentle, and like I say, really enjoyed this book, and that doesn't count towards my TBR book balance because it was a reread, and I'm sure I will reread it again and again and probably again. I also read this week The Checkout Girl by Tazeen Ahmad, and I really enjoyed this. I will say the book was written in the recession of kind of 2008, 2009, and it's quite sad to say that a lot of the issues that people were having then are still issues that people are having now in the cost of living crisis. And I did enjoy this book. There was a lot of things that she said that it was a little bit upsetting to realise, in terms of the way that staff are looked at and the way that managers treat staff and the way that staff are treated by the employers hasn't changed in all that time, like 15 years ago. And also there were a lot of kind of diet culture-y references. The checkout girl was very judgmental of what people were buying, and I didn't like that bit, but on the whole I enjoyed this. I think that any other checkout girls will enjoy this. I think this is going to be one of these books, like In the Red, that I don't necessarily recommend to people, but I really enjoy them and I can see myself rereading it, so that one is going to stay in my collection. I then also read When I Was 10 by Fiona Cummins, and I loved this. This is my second Fiona Cummins book. I've got 2 more on my TBR. I've got Rattle and The Collector that are in a series, and I don't know what it is about Fiona Cummins, because I don't think that her thrillers are like groundbreaking in any sense, but yet when the way she writes has a hold over me. And once I start, I just can't put them down, even if that means reading till stupid o'clock at night and ignoring any housework. I read this at the beginning of the week before the heat wave, so I don't even have the heat wave to blame for that. And I just couldn't put it down. So this follows, I think, I don't even read... I've been told by a few people not to read the blurb because it gives spoilers, and I didn't. I just went, I like that author. Victoria sent me the book, so picked it up. And all I can tell you about this is that there was a brutal murder committed when 2 parents were killed by a 12-year-old, but the book is called When I Was 10, so 10-year-old. And it really goes in depth into some things. It is quite brutal, this book. Massive content warnings for like child abuse. However, kept me gripped the whole time, and I will not be holding on to this one. I'm going to be good. I'm going to stick to my thrillers leaving my collection. But I think in a few years' time, when there's enough distance between me and this book that I don't remember it all, I would definitely read it again. I think I've given it a 4 or a 4.5 star because there were just a few bits of language and things that I didn't fully agree with. And I've said before, it was like a stone in my shoe, in that I really enjoyed the book, but that did leave me with a little bit of a blister. So couldn't give it quite the 5 star, but definitely recommend this one. And then I DNF'd a book, and that was Liane Moriarty's Truly Madly Guilty. I'm not going to lie, I didn't get very far into this book. I really enjoyed Big Little Lies when I read that a few years ago. Really didn't enjoy 9 Perfect Strangers. I thought that book, I read it all. I didn't DNF it. That was before the days of me DNFing. And I remember finishing it and thinking, what the hell have I just read? But I started reading this one and it just didn't seem to be going anywhere. I don't think that books in general need to be much longer than about 300 pages. Prove me wrong. Tell me a book to read that's bigger than that I will love, and I'll give it a go. But I just don't know. I don't think Liane Moriarty is for me. I'm pretty sure that if I'd have read this, I'd have probably ended up giving it a 2.5, 3 star. But like I've said before, I've got a massive TBR. I'm starting to work out which authors work for me and which don't. So that one is going. And also, the only other Liane Moriarty that I have on my TBR is The Hypnotist Love Story. So I decided to DNF that one as well and break up with Liane Moriarty. I then did get one piece of book mail this week. I feel weird saying that because I've had 2 today, but today's Monday, so this will be in next week's. But this week I had The Golden Spoon by Jessa Maxwell. And again, I haven't... I know I have read the blurb, and I think I've read the blurb out on my September anticipated releases for this one, because this was a pre-order from Waterstones. And this is basically Bake Off with Murder, and I am so looking forward to picking that up. But I'm going to try and finish what I'm reading first, because I am reading quite a few books, and I haven't got a murder mystery, but I've already got Apple Tree Yard by Louise Doherty, which is kind of that genre, and I don't like to read 2 from this genre at the same time. So that is that. Right, so let's get on to me turning the camera around and talking through my low spend year update and the things that I bought into my home this week. So let's get the pens ready. I am a little bit more happy with my nails this week. This is a Barry M jelly, I think in the colour blood orange. I'm not totally sure. Right, so where are we? So on the 4th, this 36.97 was planned. So that was for our Tesco delivery saver, which we pay £3.99 a month for, and a Cafe Pod subscription because we have their coffee. You get it cheaper if you buy subscription, and it just works for us as we drink a lot of coffee at home. The £27.56 for me. I am also going to go with planned, although not really. I don't know. So obviously I've said before that I have a little bit of spending money each week. So with that, I paid for my NHS prepayment certificate, which was £11.16, which is obviously definitely planned. I then also bought another pair of work trousers. These ones from BHS were £6. I bought some culottes from Loros, which were £3, and I paid for that on a charity shop gift card. So that was a birthday present. So still going strong. And then I paid for my bus and my Boots meal deal. So yeah, all of that is planned. The only thing that really wasn't planned were my culottes from Loros. But like I say, paid for that with a birthday charity shop gift card thing. And then on Tuesday, the £39.10 was for an Iceland order. So we stocked up our freezer and also bought quite a few drinks and things because we knew the heat wave was coming. My £7.99 was, again, I don't know whether to class it as planned or unplanned because I bought a broderie anglais dress, which you will see in the try on. I love it. It was from Vinted, so it's second hand, and it's something that I have been on the hunt for it feels like forever. And then on the 6th we had a no spend day for the joint account, which doesn't happen very often at all. So no bills went out, we didn't do any shopping or anything. And then the £8.99 was for my Apple storage, which, yes, I know is steep, but I keep all my YouTube videos in the cloud because I couldn't trust myself not to lose physical kind of hard drives and things, and this just works for me. So then on the 7th, I'm going to put this one as unplanned because we had our normal Tesco shop come, which came to £58.65. I bought a weekly planner from Etsy, which was £12.95. That hasn't come yet, but that's just to keep us a little bit more organised. It's a magnetic one. It'll be easy for me to tell Tom and Nana what they're having for dinner when I'm not here. So that's fine. And then the other thing, we then ended up spending £23.08 at Morrison's because it was too hot to cook, and normal default there is that we'd get a takeaway, but we decided to go to Morrison's because I get a staff discount, and I think the £23.08 that we spent was really, really good. We got some bread, we got loads of like tapasy bits, we got Nana a quiche, we got a rotisserie chicken. We did get a lot for our money, and I am definitely happy that we didn't get a takeaway because the takeaway would have cost more and only lasted us for that one meal, whereas this lasted us for quite a few days. We put the stuff we'd planned to have for dinner in the freezer, so nothing went to waste, but still technically unplanned. And then the £7.49 was for a pre-order from Waterstones, so that was planned. And then on Friday we had another zero spend day from the joint account, which I am glad to report. Like I say, doesn't happen very often because our bills seem to come out all over the place. And then I spent £5.27 at McDonald's. I can't even remember what I bought. I know that I bought a cold drink and I think I bought some chips. With Tom taking me into work in the car, which was lovely of him, we had to go around Nana's nap time, which meant that I was there early. The staff room in Morrison's was hot, so I went to McDonald's across the road and had a cold drink. I'm classing that as planned. I plan to eat lunch when I'm at work anyway. And then I spent £10 topping up. We have kind of a staff card where we can pay for reduced price snacks and drinks in the canteen, which is great because there is a fridge, so I could have a cold drink on my break. So that is all planned spend. So although that was £10, things like a can of pop is 60p and the chocolates are about 65p. A packet of crisps is about 35p. So there's all things like that. So although I'm putting the £10 there, I haven't spent that whole £10 yet, but it's just, there's no point me just putting in the 60p when I spend it, because the £10 has gone out my account now. It's in my, I think it's called Way to Pay account, so it's there. And then on Saturday, it was the big one. It was the rent payment, which I'm interested, because I would love to know what you guys pay for rent, because I know that it varies around the country. For us, 895 feels steep because we moved our old house. We used to pay 475 a month, but this place is so much nicer, and obviously for Nana it's perfect. We live in a bungalow, so we pay that for a 2-bedroom bungalow with a garden. So I don't know whether that's good, bad, I don't know. I know that we're really lucky to have rent that we can afford right now, and we're really lucky that we've got a good landlord. So then the £26.18 comes from me and Tom had, oh yeah, that shouldn't have been on my bit, that should have been on the joint. Anyway, I've put it in the wrong one, it doesn't matter. Me and Tom had lunch out at the cafe at work. I bought a diary, which I did say I'd show you, so let me get it out properly here and give you a good look. So I bought this from work. I'd seen it the other day, and this I have bought specifically to plan my content. I want to try and get better at Instagram. I want to try and get better at actually being like good at uploading. So we've just kind of filled it in for August, because August is already gone. And as you can see, I barely posted anything on Instagram in August, and I've put my weekly vlogs that I did and things like that. I'm going to use it to plan. So like, let me show you September. So September, I've got the videos that I've planned along with the spaces on days that I haven't got anything planned at the moment, and highlighted the videos that are already live. So here I've just kind of put some Instagram things in, but haven't written what I'm doing yet because I don't know. And then I've just put in like when I'm at work, and like little tasks to do each day. So we'll see how that goes. That should have been £7.50. It said on the shelf that it was going to be £3.50. Came up at the till at £2.50. And then with my staff discount, that worked out about £2.15. So, yep, happy with that. And then I also bought Tom some beers, because he obviously saved me bus fare by taking me to work. So I treated him to some beers. So because of that diary, that is going to go into an unplanned spend, but it's not too bad at all. And then we had another no spend day Sunday, both joint and personal, because we didn't leave the house. I would like to say that no spend Sundays are going to be a thing, but next Sunday we will definitely be spending, as we're going for our flu jabs and we're going to go out for lunch. So let me show you now the things that I bought into my house this week. And I think that this week is the lowest amount of things so far. Actually, I'm pretty certain that it is. And so the rather small list of things that I bought into my house this week. I bought another pair of work trousers. These are a couple of sizes smaller than my other ones, because my other ones are falling down a little bit. I bought some leopard print culottes for my holiday. I bought this vintage broderie dress, and it just has this beautiful detailing on the bottom and on the sleeves. I bought it from Vinted. It's originally Asda George, so yay, secondhand. I got this Soap and Glory hyaluronic body serum. I got this via the Boots review panel, so it was free, and I used to say yes to every campaign they sent me, but now I only say yes to ones that I think I would actually buy and will actually really appreciate. You know that I got the golden spoon, and I also got a new diary. So that is all that I have got time for and capacity for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know there wasn't much B-roll footage. Like I say, the week started out great. Monday was lovely. It was cool-ish, but still sunny. So I sat in the garden reading. I'd got so many plans for the week, but the minute that it hits above 25, my body just goes into complete meltdown. So I have to conserve my spoons. I did manage to what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I am really grateful that I now work in a supermarket which is air conditioned, but that didn't mean that it was cool in there. It just meant that it was bearable, just barely. But yeah, this week, do I have anything planned? I don't think I do, apart from going to work. And then at the weekend, me and Nana are having our flu jabs. So I hope that you're all well. I hope you're all ready for autumn like I am. And until next time, look after yourselves. Bye.